This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now today we're going to be talking about something, and I usually don't get caught up in this kind of hype stuff and drama junk, but it made me think about some things that I really want to bring out. Now Sunday we had talked about the open gaming license that Wizards of the West Coast is trying to kind of change a bit, you know, go from this 1.0 to this 1.1. And you got everybody and their brother trying to, lay in, say that they're lawyers or this, that, and the other, and give their definitive feeling on it. But for me, when something stinks and doesn't smell right, you're usually pretty right. It's like half these people that are reporting on this thing. A lot of them are just clickbaiting you and trying to get whatever they can out of you. But there's a couple of things that have surfaced that I hope the guy, what I'm reporting is dead on. But if it is, something stinks in Denmark, folks. And it ain't the sewage. And Wizards of the West Coast has a broader image of what they want to do with this. And that's what's really scary, is why would they lay their cards out the way they are? To feel people out? No, there's something bigger and more sinister. There's something more to this than meets the eye. Things leak, yeah, okay. And there's a lot of really reliable and good sources that explain this very, very well. Basically, what's happening is, in a nutshell, and I'll make it real quick because you can go to about 900 different channels, even the ones that people don't really watch, GG, you know who you are, and they can report on it, and it's all about getting clicks. No, there are some really reliable people out there that are very concerned about it because they are hardcore Dungeons and Dragons fans. And you have companies like Pazio, okay, which is Pathfinder, that fall under this thing that could be very, very dangerous, okay? What's happening is, what they're saying is there was an agreement that was signed in 2000, okay? And this agreement basically said that anybody third party can make stuff. So what did you get? You got Pathfinder, you got all these other things and so forth and so on. And this agreement stood in place until this new thing recently, okay? And when the 5th edition came out, this 1.0 was in place. Well, now they want to institute this 1.1. And it reminds me of something, and I'm going to compare it to after I explain this. And I'm going to let you know how this works because this has happened in the IT world as well. And you'll see where the comparisons, how you can get around things legally. And it's really pretty scary. Well, anyways, this new agreement is basically what it's going to do, is going to give the right of complete power almost to Wizards of the Coast. Okay? So you're going to sign this thing. And if you make over a certain amount of money, which hasn't been determined, some people are saying 750,000, some people are saying 500,000, that you would have to give 25% of your earnings of that to Wizards of the West Coast. So if you come out with something and it's wildly popular, well, guess what? You're going to have to give 25% of that to Wizards of the West Coast, which leaves you with no margin, meaning third-party people are going to get hurt. Okay? Not only that, but things that they have, they can change an agreement and get rid of you at any time. Okay? And only give you a 30-day notice. A 30-day notice. So you get all the art done, you get all these things done, and you say something stupid on Twitter or something on Twitch or something, that they don't like, you could be saying, hey, that cat is green. Oh, God. We don't talk about green cats here at Wizards of the West Coast. And guess what? You have 30 days and you're done. So all that artwork and all that work that you put into a supplement now will become theirs. They have a right to all the content that you put out. Anything you put out, they can claim it as their own and resell it, and you get no profit from it. It sounds like they're putting the big elbow, right? Not so fast, folks. There's something more sinister here. And this is what I'm saying. They're putting this out there. They leaked it out purposely. If they didn't want you to find out, if Hasbro and Wizards didn't want you to find out about this, believe me, it'd be under lock and key. Okay? But it got leaked. It got leaked for a reason. To throw you off maybe what is the real meaning behind this. Yes, it's about they didn't like the fact that all these third-party companies were making money and they weren't making any. Not at all. And now they're taking a real risk with this D&D Beyond. I'm sure it looks nice. I've seen the stuff with it, and it really does. It looks really, really nice. But there's more to it. There has to be. And this reminds me a bit of the IT world. Because at one time, you can get a basic certification, an A+, and you were grandfathered supposedly in. Well, once you got that A+, you can get any kind of IT job. Well, when Comptiva and the people that handle a lot of this stuff and make the decisions go, hey, we're not making enough money. Well, those people that were grandfathered in back in the 90s, guess what? That just went away. Because they didn't say you were grandfathered in or that this was a permanent all-time thing, that once you took this test, that was it. Okay? It's the same thing with this agreement. You may have signed it and it may have lasted a certain time, but they have the right to change it. And they changed it in the IT world. And now, every 3 years, you have to pay to take another test, a refresher course. It's like anything else. They found a way to monetize it. So what is Wizards and Hasbro doing? They're finding a way to get you, or the third-party person, the small company, okay? The small company that makes and creates and makes a living off it, and if they have something, they come out with a supplement that makes over a certain amount of money, you're going to have to give them 25%. Not, hey, 25% of what you made in profit, 25% of the whole thing. And if they set the mark at $750,000, who says that they're not going to set it at $1 million for some people? They have the right to change that even. So what does that mean? You're a small business. You have to hire artists, have it printed, have it, go through all the processes to get it out to the public. And then once it goes over that threshold, you have to give 25%. You may be only making 20% over that after all your costs for the artist and the writers and everything. You may lose money if this thing does too well. So now what does that mean? Does that mean that you do low print runs? So now things become rare? Well, we're only going to print 500 of these or 100 of these supplements. Escape from Dragon's Cave. We came up with this wonderful supplement, but we can only print 150 of these, okay? Because if we print more than that and it goes over our threshold, we are going to lose all our profit to Wizards and Hasbro. So now these things become rare. What does that cause? Bootlegging and even more problems. So how does Wizard stop that? Or do they get so ticked off because they didn't print more? Oh, you're trying to beat our system. Well, guess what? We can let you know without notice, with 30-day notice, that we don't want you writing any more stuff. You tried to outsmart us. And that's going to cut their throats. So that small business takes a beating, a real beating, for the greed and the corruption of Wizards of the West Coast. They screwed up with Magic recently. Hasbro failed with a huge project, HeroScape. So now they have to find another way to get us some income. But is that the real reason and why everything was leaked? Or is there something more sinister? Okay? Look at the success of what is considered, and listen, for some people, they don't like it because it's canned, it's scripted, and phony to some people, but other people follow this religiously. And whether you love them or hate them, Critical Role is the benchmark and the foundation of everything that's on YouTube as far as Dungeons and Dragons is concerned. Okay? And what have you just done? You basically told them, and they maybe have seen some of the success of them selling some of their products, and how come we're not getting a piece of that? So do they go and try to cripple them, forcing them to go? Now, this is just my guesstimation, and this is where I think there is sinister forces at work. Okay? Do they try to force them out? Maybe to go do something totally different. Or use some unknown system that has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. And force them and to try to bring them down like other people had tried to bring down Will Wheaton. If you remember, that was the biggest show for board gaming. But greed once again got in the way, and now you can't even find it. And now that Critical Role is at it's at the maximum of its powers. Okay? At full power. Is this a way to bring them down, to push them aside, or to find a way to force them to come under their umbrella, complete umbrella, and get a piece of their action, or destroy them in some way, or force them to go do something else, so they go, well, here's our own version of it. Did somebody come up with a scheme, which probably wouldn't work, you wouldn't think, due to the popularity and the love people have for these people at Critical Role? But do they say, we can do it better? You know, there's always somebody pitching an idea like that. Is this a way to squeeze people out so we can put in place the people that we can make deals with, that we know we can trust, and we're going to get a piece of the action? Is this what is this really about? All right, all those people that were making money, no, but we're going to have our own third-party people that are going to basically, so we don't monopolize anything. And again, I'm no lawyer. And once things start falling a little bit, and this thing really takes precedence, and we really squeeze certain of these things, can we move in with our own stuff and capture that whole corner of the market? Can we increase all our profits? Can we do damage to those that are successful with our license? Does that what it comes down to? Or is there something even more sinister behind this? Because it just doesn't seem to make too much sense. Well, this is 1.0. You either you sign it or you don't. And some of the bigger third-party companies, I bet you they're lawyering up right now trying to figure out what their rights are. But the small guy, Does this do enough where the small guy takes that beating and won't do it? What does this do to drive through RPG? What does this do to them, folks? Okay, all that stuff. Now, do they take a look at all that and say, well, you guys sold over $1 million worth of supplements? You know, we want a piece of that. Or does that all go back? I mean, does this affect drive-through RPG? Do they even want to take a chance of selling it? Because God only knows what's going to be in that disclosure. And how it's going to be worded. Do they want a piece of that? Do they want to control that? Do they want to cut out and destroy a drive-through RPG? Oh, well, you know something, this isn't worth us doing this. This is dangerous. We're going to go figure something else. This is like I said Sunday when I was talking. Boy, I'll tell you what. If I was D100 Dungeon and I was 4 against darkness, you know what I'd be doing right now? I'd be saying, hey, third-party people, how about you make some third-party stuff for my thing? All I want is a little taste. But you could sell it all day long. Okay? And I want you to succeed, because the more stuff you make, the better my game gets. Boy, do they take a look at that and do that? No, this is about greed. This is about controlling. This is about capturing every bit of the market. And saying, geez, maybe we can do a YouTube channel better than they could. Because we own all this. And what does this do to Pazio and Pathfinder? What does this do to them? Look at everything that has happened. This isn't the TSR days anymore. This isn't the old days. This was back in the 70s when this fantastic game was created. And now look what it's become. Or what it's going to become. It's the theater of the mind being ruined. Our dungeon masters are going to be lazy now because of the Beyond thing. Are we taking and taking one of the most historic games of all time and destroying it within the next couple of years? Now, granted, hey, you want to know something? You can live with all the stuff that you have out there now. And buy it up while you can now, kids. 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition. Get what you can now. Because if this gets bad, hey, you want to know something? Just play your old stuff. Be imaginative. Make your own stuff. Work together. Find a dungeon master that's creative, inventive, original, to test you. Because that's what it might come down to. New stuff might have to be foregone. Now listen, is it like magic? It'll live forever? Probably. But there's something just doesn't smell right about this, folks. And I can't put my finger on it. Maybe you can. Put it in the comments. I've enjoyed reading all the comments about this. And again, I'm not here to try to get free clicks. I'm here about a very serious discussion. I'm here about a very serious subject. Okay? The future of one of the games that got me to imagine and dream and use my imagination. Something that a lot of people don't do anymore. Dungeons and Dragons is one of the most historic, most fantastic games that has ever been made. I was around during the days when they thought it was devil worship. Oh, well, I don't want the kids playing this. They're doing this new thing called Dungeons and Dragons, and it's all about demons and this, that. You know, it made it through that. You can make it through all the people that thought it was some kind of demon-born thing, and the protests and all the stuff that wanted it destroyed. But can you make it past the one thing that maybe you just can't get through? And that's human greed. Corporate greed. Because right now is a benchmark time. These next couple of weeks are going to be very, very interesting. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say. And a lot of people are going to be trying to mislead you just to get clicks. Make sure you have smart people to listen to that understand it, okay? And I'll do my best to bring you the best of it and my opinion, because I'll tell you it's an opinion instead of a work, and I'm not here to get you clicks, but I'm telling you this much. I'm here to talk about a very serious subject, and I need your input, and I need to find out as much as I can. And we need to put it out there and get the right information out there. So maybe we can fight this somehow. This is a beloved game. Critical Role is a beloved channel, okay? They've done fantastic work. Whether you like them or not, they have done fantastic work. I would hate to see them go away because somebody came up with an idea that maybe we could do it better. Maybe we can monetize it better. Why are they making all that money? That should be our money. Pathfinder, all these other companies, that should be our money. That is a dangerous thought, folks. That is dangerous. Let's try to find out all we can, learn all we can, and share the information properly and responsibly, and help each other through this, okay? And let's see what happens next. It gets more and more interesting each and every day. What's real, what's not, that's what we have to try to cipher through. But there's something sinister going on here, folks, and we'll get to the bottom of it for sure. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.